What's up, everybody? John Hoover, AllSooners, along with Ryan Chapman, Randall Sweet. We're at the Brent Venables press conference today, and I can tell you guys unequivocally, we are on to West Virginia. The Sooners head coach had what we kind of debated or discussed as a little bit of a contentious press conference for Brent Venables. For Brent, it was absolutely contentious. His maybe most contentious of the year.
Yeah, probably.
Got a question, or maybe of the last 2 years, got a question about something he said last night at the coaches show in a room full of people on TV and on radio and in front of God and everybody. He said that they had a Rolodex of plays that they could have called instead of that fourth down play in Stillwater on Saturday that ended up 2 yards short of the first down to continue the game. Well, today he was asked specifically about that comment. His playbook was to go full Bill Belichick. We're on to West Virginia. I did not expect to hear that today out of Brent Venables.
Yeah, I thought it was just going to be like everybody's got to be better, I've got to be better, the defense has to be better. If you don't turn the ball over, you're not in that spot. Because Brent Venables has done that before, usually in defense of the kicking game, the special teams. He said if everything is better, then you don't worry about it. That's the route I thought he would go, the layup. He opted not to, and instead, I guess, protected his offensive coordinator that he made the own comment about.
Yeah, a Rolodex. I asked a question. I followed up with, hey, what areas can you get better in the next 3 weeks? Because you're 9 weeks into this thing. You're 3/4 of the way through the season. Where can you specifically get better? And he threw out a lot of options, a lot of opportunities. Randall, listen. West Virginia's going to roll in here on Saturday night. 6 p.m. kickoff. Game is on Fox, if I believe. 7-2 OU is. West Virginia 6-3. They're both tied for second place right now, 4-2 atop the Big 12 standings. Randall, tell us about West Virginia.
Well, they run the ball real well. Brent Venables said today that their offensive line is like a marching band. As Ryan pointed out before the podcast.
Another one I didn't have on my bingo card.
As Ryan pointed out before the podcast, probably referring to how they're all in sync and unison. Between Garrett Green, who we saw kind of dice up the Sooners on the ground last year, and C.J. Donaldson, who's a really solid running back for the Mountaineers. OU's obviously going to have their hands full. Again, it seems like, third, fourth straight week that we're saying quarterback-running back duo that they're going to be having to deal with. Against Kansas, it was Jason Bean, Devin Neal, obviously Daniel Hisha. Last week against Oklahoma State, Ollie Gordon. Now you get C.J. Donaldson, Garrett Green, who, again, have cut up the Sooners and Brent Venables before last year. We'll see how they can respond this year.
West Virginia 7th in the country in rushing offense, 98th in passing offense. So maybe there's something to be had there, Ryan. Bottom line is, let's talk about injuries.
Got to get healthy. Got to get healthy.
They've got injuries at various important positions across the board. I think this is something that I'll just let you dive into it.
Yeah, I mean, if you listen to Brent Venables' coach's show last night on Monday night, he said that Danny Stutzman practiced on Monday. During his press conference, he also confirmed that Tawi Walker practiced on Monday night. So that's two guys that obviously Danny didn't play against Oklahoma State. Tawi had a limited run there, but was able to finish the game. Brent Venables on Tuesday also said that Gentry Williams is currently slated to return to practice on Tuesday night. After the game in Stillwater, he had said that Gentry just popped his shoulder out, was dealing with some pain. One update that we did not get, no update on Key Lawrence, is he played basically a series, and then it was on to Robert Spears-Jennings and Peyton Bowen to split the load beside Billy Bowman. But Brent Venables did say for all those guys, pretty much everybody outside of the ones that are known, your Andrew Anthony's of the world, everybody's day-to-day, and that he said, frankly, on today, Tuesday, he's not able to tell you if they're going to play or not because they're all going to be game time decisions pretty much.
Huge to get Stutzman back if you're able to, for this offense in particular, because they run the ball so effectively. So one of the injuries that they're not going to get back, we know, is Andrew Anthony. Yep. His replacement, Nick Anderson, came up in the press conference today as well.
Yeah, kind of indirectly came up when Brent Venables mentioned the receiver room. Obviously, Venables talked about since the Andrew Anthony injury, how much that's hurt the OU receiver room. And again, we've seen certain players like Nick Anderson step up. Drake Stoops obviously had a great game, leading the Sooners in receiving yards the last 2 weeks. But kind of behind those frontline guys, the Sooners really have lacked a lot of receiving depth, which they had when Andrell Anthony was out there. You could throw a Nick Anderson in, some of these other guys. But even Nick Anderson, who we saw drop a pass against Oklahoma State, caught a stray from Brent Venables today in the press conference. He said, when our guys are open, they have to catch the ball. And that's, obviously that's absolutely correct. Nick Anderson dropped what probably was a touchdown on Saturday. If the Sooners receivers continue to do that, then it might be hard for Dylan Gabriel, but I think that Brent Venables, Emmett Jones, they're expecting that receiver group to step up this weekend.
Yeah, that was one of 2 drops Oklahoma had. I think Pro Football Focus had him with 1, which was the Brennan Thompson 4th down, and then the Nick Anderson probable touchdown. Those are huge plays. Huge plays. You only had 2 drops, but they were at terrible times in the game. And that kind of sums things up for this Oklahoma team. They don't just make mistakes, they make back-breaking, crucial, critical mistakes at key moments in the game, and that has cost them in back-to-back weeks. We'll see how it plays out this week when West Virginia comes to town. It's hot out here. It's windy. My brain is fried. We're going to let you go. John Hoover, All Sooners, along with Ryan Chapman, Randall Sweet. We'll see you guys.
I don't even know what a Rolodex is.